What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Soberboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the new movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm keeping this spoiler free and everything because this movie just came out tonight and I saw it for the very first time, twice, so I do have a lot of thoughts on this movie and I will be doing a spoiler free review, but I'm not going to have it, I'm going to upload it, but I'm not going to have it premiere till the movie's been out a couple weeks, so the spoiler review won't be up till later because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. And I made a promise to a friend that I wouldn't spoil it at least for 2 weeks till after it came out. So I'm gonna keep that promise and everything. But pretty much this movie, if you've seen the trailers, you know what it's about. After the events of Spider-Man Far From Home and Mysterio had announced Peter Parker's identity, he goes to Doctor Strange to try to use a spell to change the entire thing and everything, where everybody will forget that he's Spider-Man. And it goes wrong and breaks open the multiverse, and villains from previous Spider-Man movies start to show up in the MCU, and it's up to Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and his friends to try to get these villains back to where they came from. And that's all I'm going to say about the story. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, like I said. But I absolutely had a blast with this movie, and it's been my most anticipated movie of the year. Like, I've been super excited for this movie, probably more than I have for any Marvel movie in the past. It's probably the most I've been excited for a movie since maybe Toy Story 3. I just was super pumped for it, and all week this week I've just had this movie on my mind so much that I couldn't even enjoy watching other movies because of how excited I was to see this one and everything. And it just totally blew my mind what they do in this movie. And fans of the Spider-Man movies are gonna absolutely love this movie. And it was awesome getting to see these villains back. All of the villains from the Raimi movies and the two Amazing Spider-Man movies are back, except don't bring back Harry Osborn or the Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2, which if you keep up with the news and stuff on here, you know that they're not in it, but like you get the core villains of the three Raimi movies, and then the two main villains of the Amazing movies, and they do a really good job bringing them back. The actors are all really good in their roles once again, especially Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. He's excellent in this movie, and he was really great in the original movie, and he's just as amazing in this one. I absolutely loved him in here. He really stole the show and everything. I used to always say Doc Ock was my favorite villain and everything, and I do love him, but I absolutely love Green Goblin too. Like this movie made me realize how much I love both of these characters so much, and getting to see them interacting and stuff was really cool too, because that's something that we never got to see in the Raimi trilogy and everything, and that was kind of cool. And also getting to see all these villains interact was pretty cool and everything. And Jamie Foxx was really good as Electro in this one. I really liked him in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I actually thought he was one of the highlights of that movie, and I think he once again is really great in this one. It was really cool getting to see him and everything, and I think he did a good job. I like his makeover and stuff, and Sandman is once again really great too. And Lizard is, out of all the villains in here, Lizard really doesn't have anything to do. They kind of dropped the ball with Lizard. Like you could tell that they didn't really want to do a lot with him, and they could have kept him out of it and it really wouldn't have changed the movie very much, to be honest with you, because they didn't really do much with Lizard. And I think that's just because he's most people's least favorite out of the core main villains of the Spider-Man movies and everything, but he's okay. I mean, he's fine. The CGI on him actually looks worse in this one than it did in the 2012 movie, though. But really, that's the worst CGI in the movie is the lizard. I mean, the rest of it looks and works pretty good. So I'm not complaining too much, and I love that Electro isn't blue in this one. Like, they changed his design and everything. And the Sandman is cool too. They don't really do a lot with him either, but I still like that liked it that he was in here and stuff. But he had more to do in here than the Lizard did. But I did like him being in it, and there are some really emotional moments in this movie. They really put Peter through the ringer. A lot of the things that people have criticized the MCU Spider-Man for, they really put him through the ringer and really give us what the fans have wanted to see him as Spider-Man, like the stuff he has to deal with and everything in this movie. They really aren't lying when they say he goes through the ringer, and it is brutal and stuff, and like, you really hate seeing him go through some of the things he goes. And here, if you've seen the movie especially, you know what I'm talking about. But I gotta say, Tom Holland is excellent in this movie. This is easily his best performance as the character, and I say that a lot of times every time they seem to make a new one, I think he gets a little bit better. But this one, he's just absolutely perfect in this movie, and he does really excellent in here. And when it comes to the emotional scenes, he did a very, very great job in here. And I was also really impressed with Jacob Batalon's performance too. I thought he was really, really good in the scenes where he has to, during some of the emotional moments and stuff. I thought his performance was great too. And Zendaya, she's one of those actresses. She's becoming one of my favorites. I really like a lot of the stuff. I've seen most of her stuff that she's done since she's became an adult, and I like a lot of it. I think she's come a long way since Disney Channel and is a lot better now than she was back on Shake It Up and stuff, which I never really was a huge fan of that show. It was kind of after I got out of Disney Channel, but I think she's really great in this movie. I think it's easily her best performance as MJ and everything, but all of the cast are really great in here, and even Benedict Cumberbatch is really great as Doctor Strange, which I've always said he was great as a character, but I really liked him in this movie and everything. And he's not in the movie near as much as I was expecting him to be either, which kind of shocked me. But this is just a really great movie, and the score it's done by Michael Giacchino, and I loved his work on the previous two Spider-Man movies, but I think he did a really, really great job in here. I think it's probably the best score in a Spider-Man movie in a long time, probably since Homecoming. So I guess it was really not that long, because Homecoming really had a great score too. But I love the music in here, and I think they just did a really good job with this movie and everything. So there are a few things about it that I don't like that I can't really talk about because it'd go into the spoiler territory. Things that I wish could have happened more, or things that I wish would have happened in the third act, but it didn't run the movie for me, or didn't really take it down for me either. It's just like things that I kind of wish would have happened. But aside from that, I love this movie, and I think it's a really, really great MCU movie. It's a very good Spider-Man movie. It's, like I said, it's the best we've had from Tom Holland, and I really hope we get that second trilogy. The way this movie ends, they could do a really great job with another trilogy, and I hope we get it, because I'm really curious to see how that goes, where they go from here. But yeah, so I'd say I'd give Spider-Man No Way Home a 9.5 out of 10. I almost would give it a 10 out of 10, but the CGI is a little wonky, and like I said, I do have a few little nitpicks, but it is a really great movie, and I can't wait till it gets out on Blu-ray so I can own this one. It's really really awesome, and it was totally worth the wait. Like one of the best movie payoff waits in a long time and everything. And it does have a lot of fan service, but as I've said before, the fan service stuff never has bothered me because I'm a fan, so it's just awesome. And I think they do the fan service justice and do it just right in this movie. But yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and if you've seen it, did you love it, did you hate it? And please keep the comments spoiler free. Don't ruin it for other people and everything. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.